It's just a little minor hiccup, guys. We back now. Talking the Boxer.
Yeah.
Episode
29.
29.
Yeah.
We're at episode 29, guys, and we were here for the last week, so we missed talking about the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury second fight rematch, and a lot of today's podcast is going to be talking a little bit about that fight. There's just so much to talk about.
Yeah.
The ramifications of it, and but just a great fight, though.
Yeah, great fight. Really enjoyable heavyweight fight. You know, we got to get the Klitschko years like off our brain still, because it's easy to compare it to that. But that's history, man.
Yeah.
Now these guys are fighting.
Yeah.
There's another good heavyweight fight. Just so I'm saying this now, so I don't forget later.
I know what you're gonna say. Hold on, I'll say Joyce and Dubois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm really looking forward to.
He's a good prospect, Dubois. Dubois.
They both are prospects, really.
Yeah, Joyce is too. Wasn't it Joyce an Olympian? And he was like.
I think he was, but did he get a medal?
I think he got a silver.
Yeah. Okay. So that's coming up, and those two guys are fighters or boxers as well.
Right, and that's a huge British clash.
Yes.
And actually, Eddie Hearn was talking about it. It's like the belts used to be over in the States, and now the belts are over in England. With Tyson Fury, with this fight, that big win by Fury, and Joshua got the other belt. So the belts are on this side of the pond in the heavyweight division.
I mean, it's set up perfectly, one would think.
Mm-hmm. One would think.
This is boxing.
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about. Just what we're talking about a little bit, and what would be the next fight now. So obviously we know Tyson Fury with a stoppage win over Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, Wilder, and Doc. So just a little bit about it. 40 at the time, 42-0. One draw with Deontay Wilder, 42 knockouts. Then you got 29-0 and one draw, Tyson. The Gypsy King, Fury, 6'7" versus 6'9". Like, these guys are massive. The weights were 231 for the Bronze Bomber and 273 for Fury. And the Tyson Fury, in their first fight, he weighed 256. So this fight, he comes in at 273, and Wilder comes in at 231. The first fight is at 212. So that's a lot of 19 pounds and 17 pounds. Put on.
No wonder he was so tired. Well, that's a part of it. That's not.
Well, look, Fury had the weight too. They both are identical, 19 and 17 pounds. So there's been excuses on the part of Deontay Wilder because Fury with the knockout, the stoppage victory, and the stoppage victory. Let's just say the stoppage. Was it? There's controversy about Mark Breland stopping the fight because Deontay Wilder was getting beat, knocked down, all that. Threw the towel in before the ref was actually going to call it off. And then now Breland's getting all the heat from the Bronze Bomber and his other coach, this other guy, Jack Diaz. Diaz. It's not Diaz like Mexican Diaz. Julio Diaz. Not like that. It's Diaz, Deas. So
yeah. Well, first of all, let's talk about that aspect first. For his Diaz, whatever his name is, he's the assistant trainer.
Yeah.
For him,
no, he's not even the assistant.
Who is he?
Breland is the assistant.
Okay.
Mark Breland.
And who's the head trainer?
This guy, this Jack Diaz. And so I didn't look too much into him. I don't really know too much about him.
I can tell you, he's not loyal because after the fight, he kind of threw Breland under the bus.
Totally did.
And I think Breland made the right decision. I really do.
Yeah, no.
The ref was about to stop it anyways. His legs were not there. And he couldn't defend himself.
Definitely. And a fighter of the stature and how high Mark Breland rose to as being probably the top amateur boxer ever, the 84 gold medalist. His record was insurmountable, and he was beating everyone in the amateur, and he was a world champion in professional boxing twice, I think. So the guy was great. Like, he didn't have his pro career didn't translate into the amazing amateur career he had. But anyways, who would know more about what's happening in the ring and protecting a fighter and knowing what he's going through?
Former fighter, high caliber at that.
Yeah, that level.
But I mean, he got him his 42 wins, right? So his if you really want to talk about evidence to back this guy up, Breland, you just look at his winning record with Wilder.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's just making excuses now and then.
That's not right.
You know, first just a little bit about the fight. So just about the money they got, eh?
Yeah, let's go through that.
Nevada State Athletic Commission. The both purses for both guys were only $5 million each, right? Mm-hmm. That was a guaranteed.
Okay.
Plus, this guarantee is a $25 million in earnings plus percentage in earnings and plus a percentage of paid review. So they're walking home with like $40 million each.
Wow, man!
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
Yeah, because look at that fight, anyways, Doc. Like,
okay, so let's start from.
But just the amount of people that were there. I mean, the people that came out for that fight, all the celebrities. This was the big event.
This is like the heavyweight fights of the 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but even, Doc, but what about the 90s fights with like Tyson and Holyfield and Lewis and those fights were Riddick Bowe.
Yeah.
Amazing fights, right?
Yeah.
So $16.91 million is what they grossed for, and this was the highest gate. This was the highest grossing gate for a heavyweight championship in Nevada history.
16 million?
16.91.
Oh my God, 16. Almost 17 million.
Yeah. And compared to
at
a gate, that's just a gate.
How much were tickets going for this fight?
They must have been massive. I don't know.
They would have been huge.
Yeah.
They would have been huge.
Yeah. Just like they were for the Mayweather fights.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. That shows you how big heavyweight fighting is now. How it's come back.
Before that, 16.88 million was which fight do you think? Heavyweight fight.
Oh, a heavyweight?
Yeah.
I gotta say Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson.
Holyfield, their 1999 fight.
That was my other choice.
And they got over 2 million pay-per-view buys.
Oh, wow. Back then, too?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what pay-per-view was back then.
But still, 200, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
They generated approximately 800,000 to 850,000 buys in North America. And this is the best performance for a heavyweight title fight since... because the first one, what we're talking about was a highest grossing gate for a fight, and this is for pay-per-view numbers. The best performance in heavyweight title fight since Tyson and Lewis in 2002, and Tyson and Wilder, the first fight, it sold about 325,000. So this one did 800 to 850,000 pay-per-view buys. Because the first one was a great fight anyways, right? It was a draw and people want to know what's going to happen in the rematch.
So this did how many? 850,000 buys? Pay-per-view buys? How much? And the average is what, $70 or so?
Yeah.
So 70 times 850,000?
You want to do that math? You want to use a calculator?
Use a calculator.
Hey, we're not. This is a boxing podcast, man. Not a mathematics.
It's maths.
We're not doing maths.
As you Brits say.
Yeah, the
maths.
The maths. Yeah, that's
I know. They pluralize.
That's what they say. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
So just to show the magnitude of this fight and how big it was worldwide and the amount of buys, everyone was watching this fight. It was great. So the somewhat of the controversy as well, Doc, was like, okay, first, before I start to that, let me just get to this one point, and this is Andre Ward talking about, the fight being stopped too soon by Mark Breland and stuff. He's like, and the reason why I use Andre Ward's quote, because Andre Ward to me is probably the best boxing knowledgeable head that in the game right now. I think he knows the sport so good, better than the best. I think he's the top guy.
Yeah, he's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. So what?
But Andre Ward's like, Mark Breland cared more about Deontay Wilder the person than he did Wilder the business, right? And he showed compassion. He also showed that he's also the most qualified person in that corner to make that decision. He's been there and done that. He's been there and done that.
Yeah.
What's popular is not always right.
Way to go, Ward.
And then he's saying a trainer's number one job is to do everything in their power to make sure the fighter makes it home to their family safely. Everything else comes secondary, including winning. We don't want any more 10 counts.
Yeah. that's
A fighter may want to go out on their shield, but a good coach won't let them. Because a fighter's always brave and they want to fight to the end. And,
for sure.
And that's what Wilder's talking about. Like, I should have been able to go out on my shield and all that. But that's their number one job as a trainer.
Yeah, for sure. He said that well. And I agreed with the stoppage.
Totally.
Do you want to analyze that stoppage?
Yeah, he was done, man, before that. Like, he looked like a baby deer, and on his legs, and he was just shaking all over the place from the round second on.
And in the 7th round, when the final knockdown, when they threw in the towel, he went down on a body shot.
Yeah. A nice
which really showed he didn't have his legs or he was off balance. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, a good body shot.
It did knock him down.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
And Fury was all over him that fight. He came forth from the beginning. Doc, do you remember me saying, like, I picked Fury? Did I pick Fury in this?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I'm glad.
Shit. Get you next time.
Yeah. A few people with money, and you guys know who you are because I'm going to collect.
He's going to send his goons. Oh, that's himself.
Yeah, that's me. I don't need nobody. I work alone.
So sorry, go on.
Yeah, so like Wilder, I mean, now making all these excuses. Fury, he clearly won that fight, and I just feel like everything that's happened from it, like, just showed now. I mean, there's gonna be a rematch because there was a rematch clause in the fight, and Deontay Wilder exercised that. I think over the last couple of days. Today, I think it was confirmed. So that fight's going to happen again in July.
Okay, so that's the next fight. That's the next fight.
Do you want to watch that after this was a thorough?
Not really. I think
thorough one-sided.
Yeah, it was so definitive, this fight, that I think having another one. Well, it'd be interesting to see what
Not really.
Wilder,
wouldn't you be more interested in the Joshua fight?
Totally.
Than
also because there's more at stake there, I think. right? There's belts for both guys. That's a true unification of all the belts.
At home, in their home country, the whole world, that whole country is going to stop that day.
For
if
sure.
That fight happens.
That's incredible.
At Wembley Arena or something where they see like over 100,000 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy amount of people.
Yeah. Joshua already had in a Wembley fight. He had the Klitschko fight, 90,000. I think the attendance was.
Yeah, right. He did.
That's huge.
Yeah. He massive, eh? Yeah. Massive.
That's massive. Eastgate's massive.
I thought I was just reading a thing about Joshua. Just from not boxing alone, he makes almost $60 million a year.
How much?
60.
Just from boxing?
Yeah, not boxing.
Not boxing?
Not
boxing. That's all in like
sponsorship? Other sponsorships, like other commercials he does, like whatever that he's...
Good for him, man. That's awesome.
Public engagements, whatever. That's how much money he's making, man.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
He's done well for himself. Good. Mm-hmm. I'm glad it's going in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. So Wilder. So these are some of the excuses that he says. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, he didn't hurt me at all. My uniform was too heavy for me. I didn't have no legs from the beginning of the fight. I paid a severe price. My legs were how they were because of my uniform. My uniform was too heavy. It was 40 plus pounds. It was a real workout for my legs. I knew immediately the game had changed. I wore the suit as a tribute to Black History Month. So, like that, the suit being now another
I've never heard that before.
Another one. So one. I looked at this one thing that was said. Where was okay. Oh yeah. So he's making this excuse that I wore this suit and it was 40 pounds with the batteries and whatever. The thing cost like $40,000 or something like that. Something crazy. But he's done it before. But anyways, he contradicts himself because he's using that as an excuse. And here, Deontay Wilder confirmed during a guest appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, which you always talk about. It's a good podcast.
Good podcast,
yeah. Back in December 2018, that he specifically trained with 45-pound vests to carry extra weight and be active and to activate his fast twitch muscles. So 45-pound vest to carry extra weight and activate his fast twitch muscles. So isn't this funny? Isn't this all like he's lost a lot of respect from the boxing world.
You know,
he had the respect because
I think he's devastated after that loss. I think that's where this is coming from. It's coming from almost like somebody grieving. So they're not going to necessarily say things that aren't contradictory or kind of a little bit irrational. I think they are going to say stuff like that, you know? He'll come out of it, and once his mind is positive again, because he's a pro.
No, man, I think it's more than that, because he's just off the handle right now. Like, even then, you drank all that?
Yeah, that was delicious, man.
Don't be trying to take mine. I'm putting this over here.
Come on, give me some.
What do you think? No, what do you think?
Driving at, man?
What do you got here, man? Like, chime in here, dog.
Okay, well, to be so quick to let go of Breland is just completely an emotional reaction. So he let his emotions get the better of him. Why? I do not think he expected a fight like that. I really don't. A guy coming forward but not only did he come forward, Fury, but you see the amount of feints he kept throwing, and it just threw Wilder's timing off, and then a nice 1-2. And at first he'd come wide with the 2, and then Wilder was reading it, so he started coming straight down the pipe with the 2.
Yeah.
So he fought. Everything he did was brilliant. Now, as far as his legs being tired, when we were talking about there's different factors. Well, one is he's 231, and he used to fight at, 209, 212.
Yeah,
so that extra weight. Number two is, I noticed Fury started doing something in this fight that he hasn't done for a few fights since the Cummings fight, Steve Cunningham. Right?
He got dropped in that fight.
Right. He did get dropped. And then what did he do? He tired out Cunningham because in the clinch, he'd lean on him.
Yeah.
And that's a big boy. That's 273 pounds. And that's what he did to Wilder. He was leaning on him. That tires out the legs.
Yeah, so you think the legs was the reason why he got pummeled because he didn't have his legs underneath him?
Well, I think that's why he couldn't come back and couldn't launch a big punch because he didn't have his legs. But no, he got outboxed by his opponent. Yeah. That's what happened.
I think it was such a one-sided demolition.
Yeah,
and I don't think Wilder can come back from that and face Fury again. I think it'll be the same thing.
So do you think he should have a fight? A top-notch guy?
No, but he's already he can't. He's exercised his immediate rematch clause.
But I'm saying if he didn't exercise,
but
the clause, do you think it would have been a better idea not to have a third fight?
I mean, I don't even want to see him, and I really don't. I'd rather see a Joshua fight, only because the implications are more, and it would be a massive belt in terms of the number of people. Remember when Julio Chavez fought Greg Hagen in Mexico City at some soccer stadium? It was over 100 and some
Azteca Stadium?
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah.
Azteca. Stadium Azteca.
Yeah.
Stadio
Azteca.
Yeah, that's one. So I think it would be a huge fight like that. The whole world would be intrigued by that fight.
Absolutely, but the reality is it's going to be a third fight, right?
Yeah.
So before we get into predictions, what did you think about Wilder's boxing ability?
I think his unorthodox style and power is what's made him so effective and made him this brought him to this level because he's a feared puncher. He does unorthodox stuff. He can take you out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's caught up to him. I mean, Fury putting on the weight and whatever the case may be, how I talked to you about how Ben Davison, Fury's former trainer, said that he knows Fury. He didn't put on this weight. They're doing this as a little ploy, him and Emmanuel Stewart, Javon Sugar Hill. They put on this weight to more of a mental trick against Wilder.
Yeah, it's good too.
It may work, but whatever the case may be, I mean, I think Fury he's just better than Wilder, and that's the bottom line. And we need to move on from this fight.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good analysis of Wilder. You're right, about the combination of the quirkiness, but with the power.
Yeah.
And that's what Breland knew how to do, was to utilize what this guy's tools are.
Being a long rangey guy too, because his ranges.
But boy, he doesn't have much in the way of defense. He doesn't throw a lot of feints either. That's gotta be worked into his game.
Doc, one thing is that, okay, if we look at the difference between the first fight and the second fight, the first fight was close, very close, which I thought Fury did enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the difference between this fight, okay? Because I was saying from the beginning is that the change in the trainers, and nothing against Ben Davison, I thought he was a great trainer and stuff, but Sugar Hill Kronk and that style of fighting, which was Emmanuel Stewart trained Vladimir Klitschko, and he trained Lennox Lewis to stardom in those weight classes with those big, tall heavyweights, which Fury is, and they have the mold, they have that mold, how to do it, how to bring that guy to that level, and I think that is what is bringing Fury to the level where he can't really be touched.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well said.
Yeah,
the Olympian knows something.
I'm a boxing freak. I'm watching everything, man. Reading stuff all the time. My phone is full of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the influence of the Kronk guys and Sugar
100%.
Hill in the whole strategy of the fight, because he came forward. But again, forward off of feints. Yeah. Also, when he would jab, his head was off to the side or in a different position. So he did a lot of smart things in this fight.
Yeah, Sugar Hill. Look, he had Adonis Stevenson. Look what he did with Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made Adonis one of the top guys in boxing.
Yeah, light heavyweight.
Yeah, the light heavyweight division, and a feared puncher. I mean, the Kronk gym, and they always, and Emmanuel Stewart's philosophy always was knockout. Going for the knockout. I mean, you don't go fight. I gotta knock this guy out, but you want to hurt a guy and knock him out.
Yeah,
like that's what they always preach.
Yeah. It's a tough gym. It's Detroit.
Yeah.
Them in Philly.
Yeah.
They're both tough.
My part of the our last segment, Cooner's Corner. I'm gonna speak a little bit about that and training there at Kronk.
Yeah, for sure.
I went there a few times.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Anyways, so
okay, so yeah, Wilder. So heavyweights. So that's who we want to see. So you don't see Wilder winning the third fight. Is that what I'm getting from you?
Totally not, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against you on that one.
Totally not. I don't even want to see it. Let's move on to the Joshua fight.
But we'll be reviewing it.
The Joshua, because Joshua, he's got a fight coming up. I think it's in June, but he's fighting Pulev.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Right.
Frank Warren is saying is probably gonna beat Joshua. Frank Warren's saying that, but that's a rival of Matchroom. And that's...
Yeah, of course he's going to say that.
Yeah, Eddie.
Well, do you think Anthony will come out the way he did in the second Ruiz fight, sticking and moving? Or do you think he's going to go back to the older...
he's damaged.
Joshua.
He's damaged. He don't want nothing. Joshua.
Okay, so he's going to stick and move.
Fury, he's gonna run for his life, man. Like, Fury's going to be on him. And he won't want that. But he can't surprise us.
No, I'm talking about against Pulev.
Oh, against Pulev. Oh,
yeah.
He'll beat Pulev, I think.
Stick and move, or stand and stay in the pocket more.
Well, I don't know. Like, we'll have to see if he's over that. Like, if he's gotten over that knockout.
I'm very curious to see how he comes out, which style he
because in the rematch with Ruiz, he just did that to take a move. It was a boring fight.
Yeah, but it was effective.
That's
and
boxing.
He moved well. Boxing. Like, he obviously developed a skill or increased a skill that maybe was there that he hadn't displayed really.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think he'll do that, and I think that's better for his brain too. Just not getting hit as much. Stick and move.
Yeah.
And against a guy like Pulev, who's not Mr. Mobile, who plods forward. He can have some success.
Yeah,
I think Ruiz is more dangerous than Pulev. And there's a guy we haven't heard anything about now,
Ooh.
Ruiz Jr.
Oh yeah,
we all want to see him fight again.
I don't.
I do.
You want to see him fight?
I do, because I like to see a guy who admitted I partied too much. I didn't prepare, and he's not just saying it. Like, he's telling the truth because you could see his body.
But who cares about that? He admitted that. Why would how could you gain 15 pounds the next fight to fight when you're already like fat anyways as a fighter, and then you gain 15 more? But it showed it right away when he weighed in that day. Then I'm like, this guy's not coming to win.
Right.
He's just coming to whatever,
get a paycheck,
party, whatever. That's your problem, man. Then you ain't serious about that.
I agree, and I don't think he didn't say it in a way as using it as an excuse. He's saying, look, the fact is, this is what I did do. And then his own father, who trains him as well, participates in training him, he said the same thing. He was being so honest. He said he's not showing up he's out with his friends partying.
Yeah.
He's not showing up for training.
Yeah.
So I think he learned from that. I think he knows that, and that's why I'm curious to see what kind of fighter he is. But
let's see what he can do.
I like those type of stories.
Everyone loves those feel good
Yeah.
stories. Those guys that come from, you don't think that they're going to be there, and they get there.
Us older guys, especially, when you get older, you'll see you get more nostalgic.
Yeah, you get more emotional and stuff, too?
Me? No, but I hear other guys do.
Oh, other guys, So...
All right, so have we covered...
I think so.
We've covered the heavyweights.
Yeah, we covered...
Let's move on to some other fights.
Let's move on. And then we'll talk about the fight that happened last night.
Yeah.
And that was the return of Mikey Garcia at welterweight. He's sticking there at welterweight. So initially when he
147.
fought... Yeah. So when he fought Earl Spence at 147, got thoroughly beat in that fight.
Yeah.
And then we all thought he would move back down because he moved up for that fight.
Yeah. But he's staying there. I like him at 140 much better.
Honestly, he looked good in this fight.
Yeah,
I watched this fight. He looked good.
Yeah.
And Vargas is tough too, man. You got to give that to Vargas, definitely.
Yeah. It was a good fight, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both with similar styles too.
Yeah. Yeah. Mikey does some really nice things though.
Yeah.
Nice things like, man, he throws that 1-2 like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, boom, boom. The
Yeah.
right hand on that jab. Like the jab, bang.
Yeah.
Right hand, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Hey.
He tries to come down on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He really cranks it.
Yeah,
he's very good. His footwork is deceivingly good too.
It is.
But I've always liked Jesse Vargas because he always comes to fight.
He does.
And you're going to see an entertaining fight with him.
All the time.
Yeah.
With Pacquiao, a good fight with him.
Absolutely.
Bradley.
Yep.
He's always...
That was a good fight too.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, Jesse Vargas.
Yep. So we know Mikey Garcia's back.
Vegas.
You know who we called out Garcia after the fight?
Crawford?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know, man.
But did he call him out though? Or did they question him like...
from what I read, it was... He mentioned his name. He said, bring on Crawford next. Something like that.
Because I read something about that, but then I didn't put it in this.
Yeah.
But...
Hey, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, thanks.
I'll fill in the
holes.
holes.
We got each other's back.
You got it, right?
Right. That's because we're the doc and the boxer. So anyways, in this fight, right, there was a lot... It was in the Dallas Cowboys headquarters. 11,019 people. So we have Mikey Garcia 40, and now he's 40-1, 30 KOs, beating Jesse Vargas 29-3, 211 KOs. Judges scorecards. So won the scorecard. It was 116-111, 116-111, and David Sutherland had a 114-113 for Garcia. All for Garcia. 114-113. Like, I think 116-111 is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Why does one judge always have it so far off from the other ones?
I don't know, but it seems to happen quite often.
Yeah. All the time. Even, like, not in robberies, but still, like, this is kind of like it's a half-hearted robbery. Like, this guy was trying to rob you. one of the 3 judges. If another one robbed you, then it would have been a majority.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and it's happening. We're seeing that, and I saw it in MMA as well recently.
Yeah,
too. Same deal. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right, because I've been hearing that.
Yeah, it was a light heavyweight. Yeah, John Jones fight against Reyes.
Okay, that's it. We can't talk no more.
Sorry. But that's so that's not unusual when you have 3 judges in a fighting sport. It seems.
Yeah, so in any sport, really, when you have judges, like look at figure skating.
Yeah.
When you have that human element to it, they can render any kind of decision they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's, So, anyways, Garcia, that's his first fight since his loss to Earl Spence, and that's been like over a year and a half.
Yeah, yeah,
a year.
That's not a lot of frequency in fighting, is it?
Yeah, but I guess when you get to that level, right? Like when you're 40-1, like look how many fights you. Not only that, but you're at the level where you got the huge paydays, like the big paydays that you. When you're fighting your way up, you're fighting to get to there, and then when you get there, the foot comes off. Not with training and preparing. No, but your foot comes off. The whole like having to fight all the time and consistently having to fight.
Oh yeah,
being in the gym. I mean, most good fighters are in the gym all the time, anyways. But when you're preparing for a fight, that's a different kind of training because Mayweather used to have 4 week training camps, but that's only because he was always in good shape.
He was.
Right? So the other people, I used to have 12-week training camps for a fight. Train so hard for 12 weeks, then after that, then go back to Windsor and stay there for 2 weeks, eat all this food and stuff, and get bigger.
Yeah, and not the way to do it anymore. No, it's the same with a lot of pro sports. In the off season, these guys are still training.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, that's the new world of sports.
To. Yeah. So.
At the end of the day, the guy we thought would win did win. Right? Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
So there was.
Yeah, and so now obviously the talk you were saying the Crawford. I heard of the Crawford too.
Yeah.
And he was saying Earl Spence rematch with Earl Spence. He did say Crawford. You're right. He did. I remember. He said in the interview.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see the value of a rematch with Earl Spence.
No, I don't either.
See why Earl Spence's team would even agree to that.
Good to see Earl Spence in the gym. I saw a couple Instagram videos at Kevin Cunningham's gym there. He trained Erson Lumen and things, and Earl Spence was there at the gym. It was good to see him.
Yeah. You know what's kind of a worry of mine now is not a worry, but a concern in a way, is that let's say Earl Spence finally fights Crawford. Crawford beats him. My concern would be that Earl Spence's team or Earl Spence, that they would say, well, he only won because I haven't fully recovered from my car accident, actually. I've always been in pain, and it's still trying to heal, but this fight was too big to pass up. This is what the fans wanted, so I wanted to, make my fans happy. But, any excuse like that, I just hope that doesn't happen if the situation was where Crawford beat him.
Yeah, you know what, though? With Terrence Crawford, because the guy's such a good fighter, he needs a dance partner.
He really does.
He really does, a good one. So a fight with Earl Spence or Pacquiao or somebody like
Thurman. Put Thurman in there even.
He's not in talk with Pacquiao and Earl Spence.
No, but he's a guy that still has a following and could be a good draw, could be a good money fight. But the Pacquiao one makes more sense.
Yeah.
Just because he has the belt.
Yeah, I mean, let's see a big fight for Crawford. Let's see if Crawford is really. I mean, he is a real deal, but let's see the real deal face another real deal.
Mm-hmm. Like Pacquiao. I'd like to see that.
Nothing better test than that. And for those guys, are going to get paid.
Yeah.
Fighting an icon like Manny Pacquiao.
Well, that's Pacquiao's always a big money fight.
Yeah.
So let's see if that happens. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was another fight.
Yeah, another fight on the undercard was Kal Yafai fighting Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Roman Gonzalez, 49-41 KOs. Basically, he stamps himself as the king of the super flyweight. So that's 115 super flyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this fight was at 115 with a technical knockout over Kal, but his real name is Kal Yafai, 26-1, 15 KOs, and now Chocolatito becomes a WBA world champion. It was flyweight. I think it was flyweight. Anyways, it was honestly, I thought that Roman Gonzalez, now 32 years old, and he hadn't been in the ring in 2.5 years, and coming off a knockout loss to Rung Wasai, the Thai fighter, wouldn't 32 years old and in that weight class, especially, and Yafai, but Yafai's he's 30, he's still kind of old, and I thought the younger guy was gonna take over, but Roman Gonzalez, man, he showed why he was at one time pound for pound the best fighter in boxing.
Yeah,
and he was undefeated, and his offense is just some beautiful to watch.
Really beautiful. His positioning, his footwork.
Oh man, how he made those little moves. Like he's here, bang, bang, bang.
A real a pro at the highest level. I love watching his fights.
Yeah, he does this one thing. It's a hook to the head, a touch to the head, and a right uppercut. Bang, bang. That's his move. Bang, bang.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
They were pointing that out there in the telecast.
Because usually it's an uppercut followed by the hook.
Yeah.
So he hooks and then...
Touch him up here, bang, then uppercut up the middle. Uppercuts up the middle, man, just... Kal Yafai was talking about it too, and he was like, when I was coming up, I was first... he was someone I looked up to. Like, can you imagine this is the guy, the champion in your weight class?
Yeah, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's great. So I'm happy for Chocolatito because he's also a humble guy.
Very humble.
Alexis Arguello
was trained.
Yep.
Couple things with him, with Chocolatito. His trainer passed away. His trainer passed away 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was difficult for him. I think in that time where he was off for that time and stuff, that happening, that I think put him on the back burner a lot. I mean,
sure.
I mean, this fight, look at the amount of punches that they threw. Gonzalez threw 515, and these are just power shots. Yafai threw 414. And this was only up to the 9th round, not the whole fight, because it was a knockout by Chocolatito. And it was
Chocolatito.
Chocolatito. I was really impressed with him, man. And let's see what he can do.
Yeah. As he works his way back in the division, because he has to.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him. Yeah, I'd like to see him. Remember, he always fought on the undercard of the Triple G fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like he lost twice and then no longer fighting on the undercard of the Triple G.
Yeah.
But he's back.
That's good. He was once a pound for pound best.
Yep, I remember that.
Right. So this guy's good, man.
Yep. Real good.
Did you, Doc? You didn't see that? There's another fight on the undercard of this fight. This was a DAZN fight card too, and it was actually pretty good. I have to give it to DAZN. They're putting some good fights together. But this particular fight, and another smaller weight class fight, which obviously I like that because I'm such a big guy.
Yeah.
But a small guy.
A big small guy.
But just a big heart. Heart of a lion. Staying jacked. That's the lion.
Is it?
Yeah.
You told me that before and I always forget.
Write it down, man. Write it down.
I got it now.
Okay.
So
this fighter, Julio Cesar Martinez. And he's the WBC flyweight champion. He improves to 16-1 with 12 knockouts in a 12-round like a war with this guy Jay Harris, who was from Wales, 17-0 at the time, 9 kills, now 17-1. And in this fight, so I don't even know how Julio Cesar Martinez is even a WBC world champion. I think he's been moved because his style was he had his hands up here high, so his body was open, and he was so wild. He was he'd punch like this, hitting the body twice, bang bang, or punching boom boom. And this guy who's no world beater, he was hitting him and giving him good shots. If he was a fighter that hit harder, I think he would have did more damage against us. Julio Cesar Martinez.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Jay Harris. But this kid, Jay Harris, I gotta give the kid props, man.
Yeah.
He was really tough in this fight.
Okay.
Bloody nose.
Yeah.
He's from Wales, which is not known as a boxing place, right? Wales. We don't really hear about it. So
hold on, what's his name was from Wales?
Sorry. What am I talking about? Calzaghe. The best.
Nobody big ever came out of Wales.
And there's another guy, Enzo Master. I can't pronounce his last name. What am I talking about? But not a lot. But anyways, this kid was a good, tough fighter, man. Nice. Doc was fighting nice.
Yeah.
Nice style.
See, from you telling me that, I want to go back and watch that fight.
Yeah. Have a look at it and tell me what you think about this guy Martinez.
I totally will.
Because he's a WBC champion.
Maybe so much depends on how the promoters bring the guy up the ranks, eh?
Yeah.
Who they pick and choose to fight. That's all part of that chess match we talked about.
Yeah, it totally is. And I was looking at this guy's record, Martinez. I'm like, how come I never heard of this guy? But apparently he beat.
Who's he beating?
He beat Christopher Rosales 29-4. Now he's 29-4. He beat 15-1 Charlie Edwards. And he beat 11-0 Andrew Selby. I think you've heard of the British guys.
Yeah, Selby.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah. I think it's that one, Andrew Selby.
I don't know if that's the same guy.
But anyways.
Could be, yeah.
So, not bad, eh?
Not bad. He's beaten some tough guys.
Yeah.
But I'll check out that fight. I mentioned earlier about Caleb Plant. He fought. Did we talk about that already?
Yeah. No, we didn't. We didn't. On
here. So Caleb Plant fought... I can't remember the guy's name, but he looked pretty tough.
Yeah.
I think it was a Russian dude. And Caleb Plant looked real good.
Yeah.
Real strong, real skilled.
Nice.
Really wide stance.
Yeah.
He's got the shoulder roll there.
He's a nice fighter.
Wow, I like watching him fight.
Yeah.
And he hits hard.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys you can see he's at a very high level. And he's right in the Canelo ranks, too, as far as weight class goes.
Canelo, speaking of Canelo, so who's he going to fight? Is he going to fight Billy Joe, or is he going to fight Callum Smith? Another more British guy.
Yeah, man. I think he does to Callum Smith what he did to his brother.
Yeah.
Just beat him up to the
cruel,
body.
Man, that's cruel. But this one's way better than Callum Smith.
Yeah, he is.
And good. He's tall.
He's tall, he's lanky, he's got a long reach.
And wasn't there Rocky Fielding? The other... Oh, yeah, and the other...
the other Smith.
Yeah, Liam Smith.
Yeah. Beat him to the body.
Beefy, that was his nickname.
Was it?
What an intimidating nickname.
He really got just damage to the body.
Yeah.
In that Canelo fight. That was a good fight. But yeah, I heard rumors about Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah. And
I would like to see that because he's a slippery guy. It's not easy to hit.
I think Canelo will destroy him.
Yeah?
I think that's an easier fight than Callum Smith fight.
Okay, I'd like to see it.
I think, I don't know.
Well, you're probably right because he learned a lot from fighting Mayweather.
Yeah.
He was the hardest guy to hit.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Well, him and, what's his name?
Pernell.
Yeah.
Pernell. Sweet pea.
So, we got to go to the Cooner's Corner, I think, because we're almost done. Time flies when you're talking boxing.
Yeah. So I was just going to talk a little bit about Kal Yafai and just being in England and stuff, because I was there when I was in term professional, and I was at the gym there in Birmingham because I was staying with my aunt, and she lived in Birmingham, and I was training there with Kal Yafai, but at that time he was just, this was in 2005, that time he was just an amateur, I thought it froze. Yeah, he was just an amateur, so he wasn't really accomplished like how he is now, where he's gone to. But just one thing, like in boxing, that's a beauty of boxing. And I was talking to my brother and stuff, and like, cause I'm right a lot with bets and stuff. You know that I take a lot of money, and he's like, you should start. Well, I shouldn't get to start talking about this, but I just am, and with these kind of with your fight and stuff. When I was asking a question of Michael Carvajal actually, because I talked to him on Messenger. I'm like, Michael, well, do you think Chocolatito has a, because this is his weight class, his weight class, right? Carvajal's. Do you think Chocolatito has a chance against a younger guy, Yafai? And he was pretty much saying you can, in boxing, you can never count anybody out if they're a little bit older, younger or whatever. Everyone is dangerous on every given night, and just to show like a guy that like Gonzalez, like it's a feel good story. You're happy for the guy. You want to see him do well because in those lower weight classes, they're not getting paid all that money and stuff. So if he can prolong his career a little bit more and still be at that high level and still be able to make a little bit more money, so he's better off at the end, then I'm happy about that, and I love seeing that.
All right, cool. So for my Did You Know segment, I wanted to take us back to the Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran fights.
So that's 6%.
Oh, that's it. So
you keep going.
Yeah. Well, we're almost done here. So very quickly, what I want to talk about is how in the first that second fight was won by Sugar Ray Leonard's mind. And what I mean by that is he always said that in the first fight, he was just too many distractions. He was having problems with his wife, all this stuff, I believe, and other issues and some substance abuse, I believe. And his mind just wasn't in there. And he it was showed in the fight. You could see it. So he turned it around in the second fight. And you know what happened? The famous no mas fight.
No mas.
And the fact is, it was because of his mind that he won that fight. Not because of his... We knew he had all the physical talents, but he really had a game plan and thought things out and applied it. And just... He wanted to humiliate Duran a little bit, too.
He was the best at that.
Yeah. So he was, you know, doing things that were kind of shaming, or he felt shamed, Duran. So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. They were both awesome fights. Sugar Ray in the second fight. The first fight, trivia. First fight against what year and where?
The first
Roberto Duran, the one he won.
Sugar Ray in Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Montreal.
What year?
76.
You're good. Yes.
Yeah, what do I win?
Nothing. You don't win. This guy wants to bet on anything, and he wants to win. That's how you know he was a pro fighter. What do I win? You won the lot. You won $1 million. How's that? I don't know where it's coming
Checks
from.
in the mail?
But you won it.
Checks in the mail, eh?
All right, brother. Take us out.
Okay, guys. We out here. We out here. The greatest. The greatest.
Yeah.
This is not part of this fight. You're a shadow boxer.
You're the boxer. I'm the doctor. I gotta do doctor stuff. I should wear my stethoscope around my collar.
You should.
All right, guys, out. Beauty.